Undertaker. 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 What's up, guys? This is Webby back again for your Monday Night Raw review for 2 weeks away from WrestleMania 34. You know, Raw tonight, not a bad show. More friction between Bayley and Sasha Banks. We're going to be going over John Cena and The Undertaker. We're going to be going over Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Elias took on Rhino. Whatever. Braun Strowman and The Bar. More of that. Miz TV and some friction with the Miz Raj, teasing that, only to dump on Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. All that plus so much more happened on this edition of Monday Night Raw. First off, if you are a subscriber, thank you very much. If you are not, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit that bell for all notifications. Follow me on Facebook at 2007 Webby, where you can get my live reactions from Monday Night Raw throughout some of the segments. And here on YouTube, you know everything that I do. Raw and SmackDown live reviews. On the road! I will be having another one of those tomorrow with Jason Funny. Should be entertaining. All that plus so much more here I do on YouTube. So please subscribe. It will be much appreciated here on the channel. Now, Monday Night Raw tonight. John Cena and The Undertaker. You know, John Cena took on Kane tonight. Kind of a detour, kind of a way to try to get the fans to think that John Cena and the Dead Man is not going to happen. Because Michael Cole said that Kane was going to take The Undertaker's place at WrestleMania last week. Kane steps up to the challenge. Well, tonight, no disqualification. Kane says that he's going to send John Cena all the way to hell. The usual, you know. Well, we knew John Cena was going to win this matchup. Big match John, as everybody says he is. And he did. He picked up the victory, putting Kane through a table. And then, once again, calls out the Dead Man. No response. Nothing. Now, is there a surprise to this? Not really. I know I'm wanting to get a response. I'm wanting to hear the gong. I'm wanting to see the lights go out. I'm wanting to see something. I'm in anticipation for the Dead Man. Probably going to see it next week. I'm hoping we see something next week. I hope they don't keep him off all the way until WrestleMania. I mean, we know it's going to happen, but I want them to make it official before WrestleMania 34. I really don't want John Cena to come out to the ring and start talking at WrestleMania 34, and then The Undertaker comes out. I don't want that. I want some interaction before the actual event takes place. So, we'll see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw. Sasha Banks and Bayley. This is one of these times that WWE should not have done a multi-women's matchup. The Women's Battle Royal should not be taking place at WrestleMania. It should not. Not whatsoever. Somebody on on YouTube's probably going to say, "Oh, Webby, it should. All women should have their place at WrestleMania." No, they should not. Not with this storyline. Because when you look at the storyline that Sasha Banks and Bayley are having, and you look at everybody that's going to be in this Women's Battle Royal, these are the only two women that are having a rivalry. So the women's matchup that we should see at WrestleMania is the two women's championship matches and Bayley versus Sasha Banks. That's it. I mean, you get right down to it. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Their friendship torn apart. They tore each other apart tonight, ramming each other into the locker rooms, into the lockers, all over the table. It was a very good segment. They deserve their own spot at WrestleMania. No question about that. This is ridiculous that they have to be in a battle royal. Absolutely. And the fact that their rivalry and their matchup will probably be saved for a rinky-dink pay-per-view. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Stephanie and Triple H. They have their segment. They cut on Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle. Backstage, their training segment. This, I thought, was very good. I wish they were on TV. This whole rivalry, I thought has been a little lackluster, but I thought the promo tonight was good by them. Talking about how this is their world and they've been training all the time. Their trainer says they train all the time, 24/7, so on and so forth. And Ronda and Kurt Angle are going to play by their rules at WrestleMania. I really liked it. I know it sounds strange, me saying that I actually liked a Stephanie McMahon segment, because most of the time, Stephanie and Triple H segments, I say, are downright cringe-worthy. But how they built this up was pretty good tonight. I'm not going to lie about that. On the other hand, when you look at Ronda Rousey's segment tonight, and I shouldn't be criticizing this because she hasn't really had a lot of time to build herself up with promos, but that's WWE's fault. They haven't stuck her out there very much. Which is understandable to some degree, because you don't want to expose her a weakness. And if she's not strong cutting promos, you don't want to expose that. So she comes out and she's smiling and happy. 1 minute she's smiling and happy and smacking all the fans' hands and all this jazz. And the next minute she has a face like this. And she's almost breaking one of the arms of Absolution. Now, I wish she would just make up her mind, number one, what kind of attitude she's going to have. Number two, WWE, you gotta get her to work on her promos. Whether it's having her do some backstage and it not be live, have her work on them, do takes, make them not live. If you want her to be there and have them be backstage and not be live, that would be okay. That would be good too. You know? Because her promo tonight, she had to stop and think what she was going to say. So she's still having to work on that. Can't complain completely because she's still green, you know, here in the WWE. But still, there's ways to get around that. That is one way that you can get around that until she masters her craft on the mic. Either that or stick the best manager WWE has. The only manager WWE has. Paul Heyman with her. Seeing as how Brock Lesnar pretty much is walking out the door, you can stick Paul Heyman with Ronda Rousey. There you go. Miz TV. Now, they teased Mr. Raj breaking up. Bo Dallas said that The Miz pretty much sucks wrestling. And The Miz said that Bo Dallas, without him, can believe himself back to catering. One thing I like about The Miz is the fact that he brings some reality into the WWE promos, his promos. He said that he was going to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time again. He made claim that he was going to be better than Mr. Perfect, which got under the skin of Curtis Axel. You know, they didn't really do a whole lot, focus a whole lot with the Intercontinental Championship rivalry. It was mostly with the Miz Raj tonight. So, you know, the question is, even though that the Miz Raj did end up beating up Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, my question is the Miz Raj going to break up? Because The Miz, no question. This isn't official or a rumor or anything, but there's no question in my mind he's going to take some time off because of his baby being born, and he said he was going to be there for his child. So, if that's the case, why do you think they're teasing this? Now, the bad thing about this is, if the Mr. Raj does break up, then Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel will go right back to where the Miz said they were. Catering. Not being on TV at all. So, it's kind of like, all right, whatever. But, you know, should be a good Intercontinental Championship matchup at WrestleMania. Nia Jax versus Mickie James. Nia Jax wins. Okay, whatever. This is what, her 5th win of the year? Okay. Cruiserweight Championship will be decided at WrestleMania. And one thing I don't like what WWE is doing with this is the fact on Raw They're friends. Tag team partners. This is for the Cruiserweight title that you're going to be fighting for at WrestleMania. You should not be friends, together, partners. No. You should be at each other's throats. No, I don't like this at all. For that matter, it's the one problem I have with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura's rivalry. Friends. Even though they're teasing, oh, I'm going to beat you knee to face, they're still kind of friends. No, they shouldn't be friends. You're going after the main prize. You're going after the main championship in the Cruiserweight division. There shouldn't be all this friendship. I don't care if you are baby faces. Get it together, WWE. Give us something real and organic. Ooh, best friends going after the big prize, the Cruiserweight Championship. Give me a break. You know, Triple H is over the Cruiserweight division. Well, game, you can do better than this. Brock Lesnar and the Roman Empire. Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar comes down and Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman says that Roman Reigns isn't going to be here tonight. Says that Roman Reigns says he's going to be here every week for the fans. Blah, 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 blah. The usual about how Roman Reigns is always here, is always booked, and so on and so forth. Well, spoiler for you wrestling fans. Roman Reigns is not here tonight, and Roman Reigns' suspension has been lifted. Like his suspension was really in effect, considering last week he was in the building and he had his wrestling gear on. Anyway, Roman Reigns shows up, has a steel chair, gets some chair shots on Brock Lesnar, and still gets beat up, gets waylaid, gets destroyed by the Beast tonight. Brock Lesnar looking dominant going into WrestleMania the last 2 weeks, because this week, F5 right on the steel steps. Looking very good. And other than that, Braun Strowman destroys Sheamus by himself. So he has single-handedly in 2 weeks beat the Bar in singles competition by himself. Does he really need a tag team partner now? I mean, seriously. And WWE says that he has to have one or he doesn't get a tag team championship matchup. Now, I like that he has to have a tag team partner or he doesn't get a tag team championship match, but he can beat him by himself now. Let's get real, WWE. Should you have done that? No. And that was Monday Night Raw. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Subscribe. Amongst everything I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast. And until I see you again tomorrow for On the Road with me and Jason Funny and SmackDown Live reviews. And what will happen with Daniel Bryan Can he come back and be GM? Still, will the match be set? Shane and Daniel Bryan versus KO and Sami Zayn, which is where they're headed. But will that match be made official tomorrow on SmackDown Live? We will find out. Until I see you again, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.